Welcome back to Sylvan Emporium. We're doing the deck tech for Bruvac, the Grandiloquent, or our newly got Eddie the Judge. So obviously this is a mill deck, and it's a mono blue mill deck. So it's it's one of those. So let's get some hate and let's see how I put it together. So as we start with our land based. So in this deck we have 33 lands total with 32 basic islands, and one Jador aristocratic capital, just because who doesn't like to have a alternative way to mill half of someone's library? Our next big piece of the deck is, of course, our 28 persistent petitioners. So, yeah, this is a persistent petitioner deck. To the key, and of course, persistent petitioner is, tap 1, tap target player mills a card, tap 4, untapped advisors, target player mills 12 cards, and you can have any number of persistent petitioners in your deck. So where Bruvac counts as an advisor as well, because that's his creature type. As soon as you have 3 persistent petitioners in play and Bruvac, you can tap all 4 to mill someone for 24 cards, which is, it's kind of mean. So, along to go with that, we have our suite of all supporting mill cards. So we have one supporting mill creature with Ruin Crab. So landfall, whenever in a land enters battlefield, each opponent mills 3 cards. 2 planeswalkers. We have Jace Memory Adept, and then Jace Perfected Mind. So a little bit mill there. 2 sorceries with Fraying Sanity, which you can cycle to mill each opponent for 4 cards or mill each opponent for 14 cards. And then infinite combo with, or not infinite combo, but a instant kill combo with Kicker for Maddening Cacophony with Bruvac in play. Instants, we have 1. So we have Archive Trap, because everybody likes to search their library, so why not mill them for 13 cards for free? 2 enchantments with Memory Erosion. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they mill 2 cards. And then Court of Cunning, so introduce the Monarch, so any number of players each mill 2 cards, or if you're the Monarch, any number of players mill 10 cards. And then 3 artifacts with the Water Crystal, which is a really great ramp and mill support. Mesmeric Orb, which just pops off with Water Crystal, because whenever anyone untaps a permanent, if it's an opponent, they untap a permanent and mill 5 cards with the Water Crystal as opposed to 1. And with Bruvac, that makes it 10 cards, which gets out of hand really, really quickly. And then River Churn Monument, just because it's a quick, easy mill, effective way to do it. And then, of course, you can mill out everyone fully with Bruvac in play for the exhaust ability. So our next group is going to be our copy. So copy cards, we have 4 copy cards in here. So we have Spark Double to copy Bruvac, just because who doesn't like to have additional Bruvacs? And then Go-Go, Master of Mimicry, because why not copy Bruvac's ability or copy a persistent petitioner going off for X amount of times. Vile Duplication, again, copying Bruvac, as well as Quantum Misalignment. With that, you can get a good amount of Bruvacs on the field at the same time, which is pretty gross. Next group we're going into is our draw cards. So we have Windfall. If we're out at cards and we want to get a hand back, we do that. Mass Appeal, if we have enough persistent petitioners out, we'll draw a card for each one we can control. Visions of Beyond is a nice ancestral recall, because there's not really a time which an opponent doesn't have, or a graveyard doesn't have 20 or more cards in it. And of course, Brainstorm, because, let's stack our deck. And finally, good old original Jace Barrelin, because it's mill, it's draw, and it's for everyone. Then we go into our ramp. We only have 3 pieces of ramp in this deck. We have a Soul Ring. We have a Sapphire Medallion to make our persistent petitioners cheaper and blue spells. And then we just have a Gilded Lotus, just because it's nice to be able to put out those persistent petitioners for cheaper. We have 2 stacks pieces in this deck. Harbinger of Seas. Everyone likes non-basic lands. I don't run a lot of non-basics really in any of my decks. And it shuts down a lot of decks. And then instantly makes this deck a bracket 4. Land hate is not fun. And then Soulless Jailer for graveyard hate. And casting non-creature spells from exile. Next we have our suite of counterspell magic. So Arcane Denial, Counterspell, and yes, we had to get the Bruvac one to put into it. 3 Steps Ahead, which is versatile for countering spell, copying, create a token that's a copy of a creature you control, or draw 2 cards. So on that, and then just a negate to really get rid of board wipes if they try to wipe your board. The next set is our protection. We only have 3 of those. We don't really need to protect much. So Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots. And then I put this in protection. Leyline of Anticipation just gives all our spells flash. It's not really protection, but it is protection in a way. The next is our tutors. We have 3 tutors on our deck with Tribute Mage. Lets us go search out our Mesmeric Orb whenever we want. Fabricate lets us go search out any artifact that we want. And this is for our opponents. I absolutely love this card with Extract. Gets rid of those pesky Eldrazi that lets you shuffle your deck back into it if they get milled. And finally, we have our suite of Untap. So Unstoppable Plans, our Unstoppable Plan lets us, at the beginning of our end step, untap all non-land permanents we control. Intruder Alarm, whenever we play a persistent petitioner, we untap all our petitioners. And of course, Dramatic Reversal to untap all of our non-land permanents that we control. So that's it. That's my version of Bruvac. It's pretty mean, but it's pretty generic with persistent petitioners. I like it. Not many other people like it. It gets a lot of hate. So let me know what you think in the comments. Of course, like, share, and subscribe if you're not. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.